Well, yeah, welcome to another information session about Balance Forces New York. My name is Rob McCarty. I'm one of the co-founders of illust. We have JBR from the curation team of Balance Forces here. And yeah, we're really excited to share more about the program and then also a little bit more information about the location that we're going to be posting to today, as well as a workshop on streaming video textures. So we're going to get into the weeds. I'll be doing the workshop just because there are some nuances with this specific feature, and I want to get into the dirty details. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. But while I'm getting this set up, maybe if you haven't already, if you want to share where you're from, as well as like a social handle, just so we can all follow each other and support one another as we're growing our portfolios and our works in the world. And let me know once you see my screens. Thinking about it. I think I'm having one of Chaz's computer RAM conniptions right now. Or maybe lack thereof. I think it sounds like you have a space station that you're setting up.
Oh yeah, I am. I have way too many screens in my house. I'm like, if you looked around right now, I have like an iMac here, like I have MacBook Pro with like a 16-inch screen up here, and like a 24-inch with like a huge, massive gaming computer over there, and like, oh yeah, there's the iPad over here in the corner, and yeah, way too many screens, dude. I'm a little obsessed. I think I have a problem. I keep collecting more computer stuff. But they all have different purposes. Did Rob just freeze up on me?
I think so.
That's funny.
Maybe he'll come back.
He's probably frozen up because he's trying to share his screen, and that always happens. Like,
Yeah.
like, yeah, sucks. But hi, JBR.
Hi, Chaz. It's so good to see you, man. Oh God, I just love seeing everybody's faces. I'm gonna just quickly say hey to everybody. Halima, it's great to see you. Quasar, I love you so much. Oh my God, I think I've already said that. Gabriel Tolliver, a genius creator. Oh my gosh, love your work. Claude, hello, Claude. Good to meet you. Good to see you. Jay in the box. I love Jay in the box. Jay in the box. That's such a cool look. Oh my gosh. Dude, I was sporting a rainbow mohawk in 1976. That's how old I am, right? A rainbow mohawk in 76. Post punk in Glendale, California. It's kind of funny. Lucky Star, it's great that you're here. I'm so happy to see you. I think that you're going to get a lot out of this. And Azikui, it's so cool to see you. I love your work. It's so inspirational. And Dorothy B, woo woo! Yay! I'm so glad you made it in here. Good to see you, my friend. And Rob's back. Yay! Rob, you're muted.
There we go. Grab control to me at the
Later.
top. My back.
Yep.
Okay, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry about
okay.
that. We moved my my router around. Uh anyhow, let's try this one more time. Um and if we run into technical issues, I'm just gonna drive away from the presentation straight into demos. Are we good? Cool. All right. Balance Forces, New York City, International Day of Peace for the UN. Let's go. Uh, first and foremost, I wanted to share this video with the founder, Ace.
I lost audio.
Yeah, is there no audio to this, Rob?
You're muted, Rob.
Yeah. So long story short, we took within like 20 minutes. We took him from we had like a GLB at the shoe that was part of the event, and then we were able to get him to create it, customize it, use the material editor, then dropped it into the AR environment, then geofenced it at MoMA, which was across the street. And then the next day we went over to MoMA and we're like capturing a bunch of video of works of the art piece that was actually geotethered inside of the the museum. So yeah, we're basically just how quickly and easily we were able to send it into that environment was great. And then what he was saying was, man, it'd be great for all of my followers on Farcaster, which is also like the base app, for all of them to be able to claim that token that they can then bring back into their homes. So that's where we're trying to work on a base integration for our platform. So just a little bit of alpha of what we have going on. I don't want to dwell too much time on that. So moving along to balance forces. So again, September 21st is the UN's International Day of Peace. We are going to be having the works geotethered in Midtown for the Day of Peace. And yeah, we're looking really for works across the gamut of pretty much all human experience. And we'll actually have a team on site. I'll be there included, where we're going to be doing content capture of all of the works, but also we're going to be doing walking tours. As there will actually be a VIP event happening just across the street at Margaritaville. There's going to be some workshops from some of the UN groups that are staying there. And yeah, so we're going to be able to present this body of work just right across the street, which is right in the heart of basically Times Square. So yeah, JBR or Sven, if you are, it looks like Nita, you had your hand raised. If maybe Nita, if you want to jump in real quick, and then I can pass it off to JBR or Sven. And you're on mute just if you're trying to talk.
Need a hand unmute.
Alrighty. We'll keep the show moving along.
Hello.
Hey,
I had some problem with my mic.
Nice to see you.
My thumb is too thick, so it's hard for me to push the right button right now. How are you doing?
Good to
Great,
see
man.
you.
Great.
That's good. Yeah, I'm pretty busy the last few weeks with my own studio, so I apologize that I've been absent the last two the last meeting. So hope you're doing great, and then I'm still excited what's going on, and yeah, I hope New York will be a success again.
Absolutely. I think it will be because it's New York.
Yeah, of course it is. I love New York.
Exactly.
Yeah. I also have something to share with y'all that we haven't spoken about yet. It just came about late last night. But before I do, I guess before we jump into some of the goods of the presentation, Sven or JBR, do you have anything that you like to say, or any anecdotes, or yeah?
Sven, do you have anything you want to share?
No, not really, not yet. I'm just jumping in to listen to you guys, and yeah, and nothing to share right now. Sorry.
Don't be sorry. Yeah, don't be sorry. I think that the only thing that I want to say is there's actually one thing I want to ask, and that is the location of the NYC activation for mapping, as that has come up as a question through Z Creative.
Yeah.
And also, just I can't reiterate enough and strengthen this that if you are all artists and you all are creatives in your own amazing capacity. And this, I think, this is a huge day of to be able to be seen and to be acknowledged for the way that you create. So if there's a way that you can sort of tell the story of what it is that you truly believe that peace is for you on an international scale, because think about it, New York City is it's immigrant city. Like we all came to New York, it seems like first, like hundreds of years ago, to meet each other. And just imagine your work being elevated in space in New York City. So whatever that means to you, just go for it. Whatever it is that you believe strongly in the human conflicts and reliefs, or feeding the world, or just packing a lunch and providing whatever it is. Just make it happen and make it an AR. I think it's gonna really say something for this curation. So that's it. Thanks.
JBR is so eloquent. Thank you so much for sharing that. Great.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so as we continue along, we just did the port reactivation, and we were able to geotether along their shoreline art walk, and it was kind of it kind of really turned into almost our pilot program for what we're planning on doing, because I see this being and we've all kind of discussed this. Y'all were the first ones to see it, but taking this on the road. And so New York is really that next destination. So now, Fuzilla's will be real quick on this one. We're an augmented reality platform. We're about geotethering digital artworks to any location in the world where you can bring your stories, present it without having to ask permission from anyone to be able to tell that story in the world. And what we're really trying to foster is a zest for this new medium, and really just an appetite for remixing the way that reality looks. Now, this all happens with mobile-based AR. There's some pretty remarkable stuff already happening in wearables, so we are definitely strategizing a way to create this kind of, for lack of better words, base layer of experiences, so that when that does happen and we do have some sort of wearable, that we're ready for it, and we've kind of set the breadcrumbs, or maybe planted the seeds of this future digital physical connection. And my background being from helping consult with Meta on their AR product, and my business partner being Snap's first creative partners, we've kind of seen a lot, and seen a lot of ways that creators have been getting screwed, and a lot of ways that creators have been winning out. And so we're really trying to just foster, an equitable platform, equitable system, so that we can all be kind of growing in this new medium together. And so at the core, we have this map-based system. For this one, we're going to be doing a map curation. We'll have some new we will have some new features that are going to be deployed for this, to give the users on the grounds that are going to be in New York a little bit even more of a better user experience. We're anticipating that we're going to have quite a few works, but New York's a big city, so I think it'll work out. And in JVR, to your question about where are we going to be anchoring everything, I'm going to share that right now. Well, not right now. One more slide. Sorry. It's real quick, for those who are new, we have 1 month free promo code for first-time creators, which is EF-NYC-Peace. If you punch that in at the onset of logging into the studio, you get 1 free month access to the studio tools for, again, people who haven't used the studio in the past. Here we go. This is the slide. Okay, so International Peace Day Walk. So we're going to be having on Saturday the 20th, we're going to be doing some workshops that are going to be at Augmented. is going to be one of the destinations for a bunch of people that are visiting from around the world. And so we figured for that specific day, talking to the venue as well, we'll be hosting the start of the tour from that location. And if you notice, we have one Times Square right here, which is the iconic Times Square visualization. But then we have one of my favorite locations in New York is Bryant Park, and it's right in front of the public library there. And it's just absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of walking grounds, and so we're thinking about creating this loop around. After we're looking around, especially around the UN area. The UN area is going to be locked down with like credential passes, so we won't be able to get into the UN per se, and we also couldn't do walks around it because you need to have a credential, and it's also kind of pretty it's pretty urban, so it's like pretty much pretty roped off. So we wanted to create a place where people are going to be staying for the event that they could immediately go in, and then also there's a lot of great pictures to be snapped along this walk. So so the starting point is just going to be this giant loop. I think it works out to about a half a mile in total. And we're going to be doing an event on the 20th. The walking tours are going to start on the 21st, which is the actual. And and then we have these are the coordinates for the starting point as well as the starting address. And it's going to be basically a loop. Yeah, JVR.
Just really quickly, will we be mapping within Bryant Park, which by the way, I love Bryant Park so much. It's such a rad park. Will we be mapping within the park as well? So we can just walk through the park and yes, that's awesome. And really another really beautiful thing is Margaritaville is so well known within the NFT NYC community because they host most of the events in the VIP sectors there. So that's awesome. And I think that I have enough information to pass on to Z Creative because he wanted to know where the best spot was to map his work.
Yeah.
All good spots.
Yeah, it's very iconic. And it's again, it has the backdrop of the library right there too. So figured we will probably still have a couple works that are at the UN building specifically. We're going to see if we can get some credentials from one of the groups that we're working with to broadcast this. So that's the International Peace Day. And then what we're planning is we want to give the exhibition a home after, say, the week goes by, we go home, that it could still be in New York for maybe another month after that. And it can kind of be self-sustaining. So we are working on a partnership with a local restaurant in East Village, which is by Tompkins Square Park. Another formative park where a lot of like countercultural art, kind of the zeitgeist of that was happening, where we could actually have in the restaurant displays for Balanced Forces, where they could have brochures, and then they're actually going to make a Balanced Forces empanada. And so the idea that we can use this digital art as a way for them to go market to their customers to go check this out after they want to walk off their empanadas. They can go on this art walk, which is just across the street in Tompkins Square. And then vice versa. We have a place that we can always send people to in New York where they know the drill and they're already set up there. So it's really kind of in this effort to bridge the relationship between the digital and the physical. And if we can create an economic opportunity for a local business through digital art, I think that's a huge win. So so that's kind of the idea of giving it a home after the fact. Yeah, JVR.
Okay, so I know this is weird. I just thought of this, but maybe this is so radical, right? This is such a great opportunity. And Quasar's laughing at me, and it's okay, laugh at me. But is there an opportunity here to be able to hang art, like hang the physical artworks of the AR, and then and then pop that outside of the restaurant, in the restaurant, do a whole other mapping. I mean, this is so wonderful. Dude,
Let's
I
just
don't know
go-
how you
let's
got
just-
this, but
Let's just gorilla. Let's just gorilla.
right? Let's just grill this, y'all. Shoot, this is awesome. This is so rad. So anyway, I'm sorry. I'm excited.
I love it. Yeah, they actually have a pool table in there too, and they have some art on the walls. So yeah, I'm gonna have another follow-up conversation with them on Friday. But
Yeah.
it's looking pretty good. And yeah, so that's kind of the idea is, we wanna gift this to something that's gonna be maybe more permanent. And yeah, we can use this as a model going forward for all of us too, as like we're producing digital art in our communities. We might be able to go to local businesses and see if we can do something similar. So
There's a platform that does that now, right? Where you hang the art and then you're able to do the AR situation. Can't think of the company name, but you've talked about it before, and yeah. So this would be kind of like that, essentially, somewhat like that. Yeah.
what's up?
Hey, Bob, yeah.
I was also thinking about like that, because they're based out of New York. I think they're based out of New York. I'm pretty sure. Is Black Dove Art, and they have this. They do like custom installations for screens, and like also like, maybe we could loop them in and like see if they can't provide some screens temporarily to like put their name on something like on the wall or something next to the screens, like to get them to like come bring some screens out and like put some art, some of the stuff that's like digital that's on screens like in the restaurant, like hang a few screens up if they're around or if they're available to do that.
That's dope. Yeah, I don't have a contact over there, but I do.
Get it?
Yeah.
In there.
Working with that for the we had the, and actually I wanted just to put the bug in your ear. Portland Light Festival, PDX Light Festival is coming up in February of next year. I'm working on building an entire structure with Black Dove screens to play digital art on, and I'd like to loop you guys in just to put it out there to do something AR during the festival too.
That's awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you thinking about us. That sounds super dope.
Yeah.
Awesome. Dorothy, you have your hand raised.
Yes, sorry, I can put my camera on from a minute. It's more personal. Okay, hello. Yeah, Sven. Well, I also have a question, but Sven wanted me to touch on this thing about most people think that this has to be for 3D art. And it doesn't have to be. When we did the Port Moody, there was lots of 2D art submissions as well, and they look great as well in AR. So there's no limitations when it comes to that. Obviously, yeah, it can be great to play with 3D if you're up for it and so on, but the 2D works totally fine with that. So don't think that you can't participate if you are just doing 2D art, right? Then I have a question. So I did see the open call, and I have bookmarked that one. Obviously, I'm gonna put something in there, but I'm wondering if because I remember we spoke about that in the space we had a few weeks ago, as the kind of like the, like when the whole thing ended, we were like kind of having a space about how it went and celebrating it. And we were talking about whether we should do a new artwork or just use the one we already used. I guess, I don't know, would it be up to each artist, or would it be preferred that we do a new one?
If it really comes down to the story of the piece, and that'll be really on the curation team, and kind of what the guidelines that they're looking for. I think there's definitely a world where it could make sense. But I think from some of the works that I've been seeing, and they have been directed towards this specific story.
Yeah, makes sense. I have been thinking, I think I need to do another one for this particular theme and this occasion. I think something more related to that theme would be great. So, okay, I'll get going on that. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Cool. Next one. So yeah, jumping in. Yeah, so we're gonna go into the technical side of the check today. So let me pull up staging.
Hey, Crystal. Crystal's in the house, y'all. Woo.
Woo. Someone asked, I think maybe it was even in the chat right now about animation. So if you do have a GLB file that has animation that's baked, it'll come through like this little acorn. So that was just a quick thing. But today's main focus is on the Mux integration with our streaming texture system. So let me first log into. So we'll create a piece from scratch here. We'll start it from the beginning. And let's see here. I'm also going to. I just logged into Mux. Again, Mux is a free account, free service. It's basically what's really cool about it is you could actually sideload your files into our system, so it doesn't count against our storage or anything like that. So if you have really big video files, this is the recommended way to do it. So I'm about to go into that in just a second. Let me go ahead and create an experience. I have a lot of tabs open, so cancel out of most of these. Okay. So I have my blank AR scene right here. We're gonna do streaming texture. So you may be asking, you might have asked in the past, but if you're not familiar with 3D, you might be wondering what a texture is. And so, or what a material, you might hear me throw around material quite a bit. Of course, I just closed all these out, and these were my examples for today. There we go. Let's go back. So back to the pup. So just a quick vernacular or maybe 3D jargon. So when you're creating a mesh is basically the composition of the 3D object. So like this whole like acorn looking body of graphics, that's the mesh. And it's actually when you like blow it out in like a 3D program, you can point it out and you can see like all of the like, it's all these like little triangles or vertices that like come together to make the mesh. And so you might actually, like if you zoom real in, or we can't really tell because we actually have what's known as a texture. And the texture is applied to the mesh or to the material. So this mesh has a material, which is, in this case, I'm applying, say the acorn has these like grooves. It's got like, you can kind of tell it's like, it's almost smooth, but it's not quite smooth. That's where we're applying a, where we're actually approaching a material. So let me, sorry, one second. Let me pull up a different example because that one only has one material and it's the entire piece. But this one does. This one, actually, it's in our. And I'm realizing that's almost already 9:45. We've been going through this one, so but I want to make sure that the core parts are happening. Race car, there it is. Okay, this one's nice because you can actually play around with like a lot of different aspects. So I'm gonna go ahead and reset the race car back to its normal self. So the materials that I'm choosing, this is the material, like the material channel, the different material channels. So if I click on one of these material channels, I'm isolating the material that's tied to the mesh of this object. So in this case, it's the body of this race car. Now, it's important to note that this material also has textures. So, you know, I might look at this and I can, you know, start making this, I might want to make this race car like more metallic.
Oh wow.
And so now I'm kind of changing up the surface here to be more metallic. Or I could make it a little bit more rough, so the light doesn't pass through and it's less metallic. It's almost like more matte. It's almost matted. These are all ways that you affect the materials, and then you can also change out the way, like the bumpiness of course, like the normal maps, or like change out the actual like the texture itself. And that's an important concept. Like, so when I say like I'm applying this texture to this material, what I'm doing is I'm applying some sort of file to represent the texture of that material, which now comes back to why this is called streaming textures. So this is where we're applying, instead of we're applying an image, we're applying a video to a surface to then be rendered in the 3D scene. So it was a little bit clunky of a metaphor. And there's probably a little bit of inaccuracy, but I'm pretty certain it's 95% of the way there in terms of the explanation. But for this purpose, that I just wanted to kind of explain that, because what we're doing in our system, what's happening behind the scenes when we're creating a streaming texture, is we're actually creating a material in our system, then projecting a video onto it. So that's why it gives it 3D depth.
Yeah, can I ask a question real quick, bro?
Yeah.
If we had video or MP4 as the source, could that then be projected onto, say, that race car, and then it could look like a crazy galaxy car, basically?
Exactly.
Oh, cow. Whoa.
That's rad.
So yeah, let me so I'm gonna go ahead. I just logged, so there's this provider, it's called mux.com, and I'm gonna drop it in the chat. And yeah, so Halima, we could do PNG or JPEG. And we found something with their system. We're learning something every day. Just the more people that are using it, the more we're pushing it to its limits. If it's RGB, if you export like in Photoshop, like a PNG or a JPEG, if you're going for like printing, which is what CYMK, it's a little bit weird with the rendering system. So just remember, if you're exporting JPEG, PNG, it's RGB for the source. I'll find my library.
And then one last question, Rob. If the audio, if what was the source was MP4 and there was audio, and I attached my music to it as well, then the music would then play?
It should.
Wow.
But that's also based on who's looking through their phone. They have the opportunity to mute, keep it on
Right,
mute,
right.
turn it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So dope.
So I logged in. When you first log in, it'll just ask you like create like a username. It's pretty simple. Again, no use. I logged in with the email. There's no payment. And it's just literally a free resource. So I'm going to create a new asset, which is uploading a file. And so we'll just go through the flow here. Let's upload that video I just made. And you'll see it's 76 megabytes. So normally with our system, 76 megabytes might be too heavy in the AR scene. So we really recommend, if you're going to upload something, especially a long form video, I've seen some videos that are coming in the artist call for submissions that are like 5 minutes long. So this is a way to get around loading everything once at runtime for our AR app, so it's being streamed in bit by bit. So it just makes it easier. So if you do have a file that's over 20 megabytes or 30 megabytes, this is the recommended way for like the optimal viewing experience for that data. If you saw, I didn't even put a creator ID. I didn't put an external ID. I can give it a title. None of this shows up in the studio. It's more for your own library works. But and then video quality, I'm just gonna keep everything the same. You can go into the advanced world if you want to, but I'm just gonna keep everything as is. And I click start upload. And So give it a couple seconds to load up. And then I'll also share, I have after the fact a tutorial on this process flow that if you do have to jet because it's coming to 9:45, if you click this link, it'll give you a step-by-step tutorial, maybe less in depth, but still pretty, you should be able to get sorted just following the steps. All right, cool. So I upload my video. So if I click view asset, it'll give me all this information. At risk of overloading y'all, because this is a new flow, if you might have seen some of my tests on social media where I've been posting about testing about doing like live streaming into an AR scene. This is the same process flow for live streaming into AR as well. So if you want to pull like an RTMP feed and then project that into an AR environment, you can do it with Mux. So it's a pretty cool little tool. But for just regular video that's not live streams, still is a great tool. So if I go here, there's playback and thumbnails, and then there's this thing where it says asset details. Right here where it says playback IDs, this is where the playback ID goes in the studio. So funny enough, if you copy the playback URL, that won't work. You just need only the ID right here. So I just double click it. So I'll drop it in right here. And then here it is. Now I have that video with audio coming into the ARC. And as you can see, it immediately renders up. Now there's a couple other things that you can do with the streaming video texture, which I'm a big fan of. And this is how we've done like holograms in the past. Is we have a chroma key that now is available for the creators. So you can go in and, I don't know, key out the colors based upon what you're trying to select. And we have different spillage options too, so you can kind of play around with that. This video is not really right to be keyed out or any of that, but probably just, and then you can do the same functionality that you could with a video that's in our system. So in this case, I'm just going to punch in Bryant Park, New York. And then got the little water fountain walkway right here. Right here. And there was we did a push on Monday to our live production site. So the geofence is a little bit more specific now. If any of y'all kind of noticed in the past, but we brought it in a bit more. So I could probably even go down to like 8 meters if I want to. Thanks, Blaze. I appreciate that. Yeah, you have the effect controls here to go bigger with the scale. You get a little 45-degree rotation. Oops.
If we had a sound button, you would be like,
Appreciate that. And yeah, now I have the piece. So there's something I do also want to just flag. These are just like little nuances that I notice when producing, especially if you're coming into the studio fresh. This checkered plane is really supposed to be a representation of the ground. But in AR, our system is looking for the ground, and then it's gonna from that ground level anchor it on top of the ground. So you might have seen like an AR piece where you have like this like floating shadow in the middle of your work that almost looks like a tutu. That's because the work is below the ground plane. So if it's below the ground plane, the shadow is going to stick to where it thinks the ground plane is. So just make sure that when you are publishing your work, since everything that we're doing lives above ground, that whoops, that it's above this like this checkered box ground plane area, so you don't have that weird floating shadow. So unless you want the weird floating shadow, and then that's your own call. But yeah. And I think that yeah, again, it's the same. You can do the same things with the streaming video. You might run into a little bit of issues with the streaming video if you have audio in the MP4, and then you also add audio to the full scene. We don't necessarily have a structured audio or spatial audio setup in the studio at this time. But there's definitely a world where you might want to have the whole scene has an audio track, but then if you get closer to an object, it has its own unique track itself. But for right now, too many maths at this point. But we'll get there. So I just make sure that you don't have conflicting audio files playing at the same time. But that's pretty much in a nutshell the streaming video texture. And as Quasar was right to point out, you can have actually, let me pull up an LM Designs, who led one of our first workshops. She's used this feature quite a bit. And I'll pull up one of her works where you can see the video texture being applied in the AR scene to a non-flat surface.
It's really good that you pointed that out, Rob, by the way, to make sure that you have a landing above ground, or at least pretend, when I was doing it, pretend that grade or that graph was the ground, and make sure that it's just a little bit elevated so that it's not positioned through the ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
Important point.
So I think this one, I haven't checked. This has been a few months. I haven't checked if she's changed it or not. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, we're so it's called Rave in a Cave. So she has this cave, and then you walk into the cave,
So dope.
and then she has this video
All
playing
right.
inside the
That
cave.
is so cool.
That's
Uh,
I want to put some my art on those screens. Celebrate with them. Totally wrong.
and,
yeah, make this a rave.
exactly.
I just finished a 9-minute video for it's a fan video for Alive, the Solomon remix by Rubens Del Sol. That I'm gonna be putting up online on YouTube or somewhere, just to like put it. I just made it because I love that track so much.
Right on.
But like that kind of stuff, what I did would look so amazing in there. Oh my god!
So wait, Rob, this is the spatial AR? Like,
So this is I mean,
because I have a
it's all-
spatial room that I've designed and everything. Like, is this like,
so the process flow for this, and I'll deconstruct it. So she uploaded this kind of, it's actually a good example to kind of bring it all together. So she uploaded a single 3D model, and in that 3D model, so this like cave little thing, in this cave model over here, she set the different materials that she wants to potentially workshop at some point in time. So she's like, okay, I'm going to make up a material that is like this wall right here. And so that way I can isolate that area to do whatever I want in the illust studio to like workshop it. So this is a little bit more advanced, and it's definitely still like buggy. We're working through and trying to make this a little bit more efficient. Is this video effects module? That's why it's at the very bottom. And we'll hit it. But it's here where LM was able to, so she selected the video material, which is called video texture in here. So
Chaz's rooms would be so crazy. Like Chaz's art in these rooms is so crazy.
Like, oh, dude. Oh, like I'm having a conniption fit over here. I'm like, what?
Then it'd be so it would be so dope.
This is the whole reason I bought the PC, though. Like, literally, this is the reason why. So I could do things like this.
Yeah.
It'd be so dope, bro. It'd be so dope.
So yeah, I select this video texture material, and then she put it here. It is case sensitive as well. And then she uploaded here the video that she wanted projected on the wall. And that's basically the process. We also have like occluders for like more like serious 3D side of things. So those are functional. And then yeah, there's some other things that could play around. So you could do like blend overlays too. I'm trying to think of a good example of that one. A blend overlay is like you could have the AR scene. Like you could have like an overlay. Let me see if I can create one. I'll just create AR experience. I'll create a fresh one with the blend overlay. I wonder if I could actually stream it in Box. Now that I think about it. I don't know. This might not work. Probably won't work, but we'll see. This is just more playing around with the studio, and maybe we can, because I also want to be cognizant of time. I'm starting to go down my own rabbit hole of playing around with that. I think, yeah, maybe I should kind of reel it back, but we'll save that for office hours on Friday. Blend overlays, because that's a whole nother can of worms that I wasn't intending to go through today. But yeah, there's a lot of there are a lot of different things you can do with the studio that are fun. Quick note on when you're publishing, I've seen this before a couple times. Make sure show on map is turned on. If it's not turned on, it won't show up on the map, and we won't be able to know where your artwork is in the world. So just turn that toggle on, please. I've sometimes mistake. It should be default to on already, just FYI, but sometimes I turn it off because I'm workshopping in an idea and I forget to turn it back on. And then
Hey, really quick, Rob. I put the link for the PDX Light Festival call for participation in the chat. So if you want to check out what that is and like DM me later about that, and like you could let me know like what I should include in like the PDF or proposal for them. Whatever you guys would want to say, like send me DM.
appreciate that, Chaz.
Great.
Thanks for that. I almost lost that.
Rad.
That's
Rad,
perfect.
rad.
So, cause yeah, I have a whole PDF. I'll send me a DM with your email, and I'll send you the PDF that I made already, that has all the like the build and what I'm doing already, and then we can like do something between now and Friday to add illust into the PDF for the proposal to make sure that make that intention clear that I want to include you guys with the whole with the
Wow,
walk
that's rad.
around the tower that I'm building.
I just opened it up. It looks cool.
Sick.
Like, so I'm building like a LED mesh tower with like 5 screens on it. It's gonna be like, it's called the signal tower, and I want to make AR stuff around it. So, you know what I mean?
Go Chaz.
There's some questions in the chat. From Jay in the box. There's some really interesting questions. What's the distance of a square? Was that a real Jay in the box?
No. What I meant was like when he was showing it, like in the creator
Studio.
what was the different distance of a square? The scale of like, yeah.
Got it.
That makes total
Sorry.
sense.
I thought it was philosophical for a second.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I don't know, 1080 by 1080.
So it's you'll know if it's small if a warning says, hey, this is really small. So we try to normalize it, but every 3D program exports differently. It's just the way that they are. So like Cinema 4D, Maya, Blender. Blender usually comes in pretty big. Cinema 4D comes in like, no, actually, excuse me. Cinema 4D comes in like extremely big. So I usually have to bring the scale down to 0.001 across the board. But Blender usually comes in pretty normal sized. Meshi does around normal size, but sometimes when it exports, the like lighting system is a little wonky. So Meshi's, I mean, it's generating everything, so it's not like a 3D program.
Have you used Tribo at all?
I haven't used Tripo yet, but I'm pretty keen because
They just dropped version 3.0, so it's supposed to be like way even better. Like than it was already amazing. It's just like I'm like, yeah, it's the best 2D to 3D that I've been able to find. Like it literally is the best.
Yeah, I know that. I want to blow up Zen Materials the spot, but I know that like Tripo's part, like there's some open source libraries from Tripo that he's able to like pull into his workflow for like the crazy sculptures he makes. But yeah, maybe we'll save it. We'll save the AI chat for another time because I think there's so much fun stuff for us to play around with in that world that makes our creation process and our storytelling abilities that much easier. But I do want to really mention this one because I do have to jump at like 2 minutes. We are doing, so you might have seen our Google form. If you apply through Google form, great. That's awesome. We're rocking and rolling. We're trying out Webby Social for the first time, at least Balance Forces and illust, trying to broadcast what we're doing to more people. So if you see it on Webby Social and you've already applied, don't worry about it. You could also apply on Webby Social too, if just because they're like building like a record of applications to different open calls. I have a QR code here to like the article that's on Webby Social. But again, the only thing about Webby Social is it doesn't do 3D. So if you're uploading a GLB or you're uploading like the AR scene itself, for us to be able to like go into it, like it would be great we need to see the actual AR scene that you're creating, which Webby Social does not do. It's more for 2D only kind of things. If you have a video and there's no effects applied to it, and it's just a simple video or image of the art piece, then Webby Social might be the right way to go. But so if there is confusion, hit me up. Again, if you submitted through the Google Forms, those are locked in. We're still using the Google Form, and we're using Webby. Ultimately, the people from Webby will still have to probably apply to the Google Form to like for consistency.
If I may to add, if you want to complete like application process that includes the AR Studio information sessions, you can just go to the Searchlight link because that has all that you need to apply as well as attend these workshops or schedule your next workshop. Just so you know, because I noticed that Webby doesn't have that. So just saying, another avenue to apply.
Yep. Thanks, JVR. And I just copied. Whoops. That was Chaz's link. I was just go to Searchlight has the open call. Let's see. There you go. There's the Google Forms too. So Searchlight's the spot to go, especially if you're into the 3D workflow. Webby's cool because you get a little badge if we select you, and then there's like a little bit of clout that can come with it. But again, it's a test for us. We're trying to. Fort Moody was our first one that we did, so we're just trying to learn and try new things. And so the curation process and the open call process is, we're trying to see what works best. And last but not least, again, the 1 month studio access promo code bf.nyc-piece. Case sensitive, it's all caps. And that should be about it for today. So thank you all so much for being along for this bumpy ride today. Bugs, computer crashes and all. But yeah, I think if something I also want to mention is this Friday, I'm doing office hours. So this is like, come with your questions, come with like, we're going to get like our hands dirty with just trying to get, if you encounter a bug in the software or you're trying to like workshop this idea, but don't know how to execute it. This is a time for us just to only talk about the tech. and get into the weeds of the studio. So feel free to drop in. It's gonna be an hour long, might go a little bit longer, but gonna try and keep it around that time period. And yeah, we'll keep we're gonna keep working and building, and excited to see what y'all come up with.
Will there be an invite link to the Friday?
Yeah.
office hours?
What time is that? Eastern Standard Time?
Yeah.
I believe Eastern Standard Time. It's set for 10 a.m. Pacific, so 1 p.m. Eastern.
And how do we get into it?
I just sent a link in the chat.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so I just dropped a link in the chat if you want to join. The last email that I sent out, in the newsletter, I also included a link to the office hours there too. So if you search your email, or if it landed in spam, we have like an illust newsletter that went out Monday/Tuesday. There's a link to the office hours at that point too. So yeah, we're gonna try it out. It's gonna be our first time doing office hours, so see how it goes. Yeah, thank you so much, y'all, for jumping in, and yeah, feel free to reach out or join us on office hours on Friday to bring the work over the finishing line.
Keep in touch with Michael for detail.
We'll do.
Okay.
Take care.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Quasar. Good to see you. Well, bye, everybody.
Boom, ding, dong, ding.